What's going on, Joe Joe in the Morning family? I hope you are having an absolute amazing day. It is a beautiful day. A little chilly, so I got my coat on, but it's a phenomenal day. I wear this coat with the kind of like the fleece inside. It's my early morning prayer time jacket that I sometimes I get up, I go walk around our neighborhood and just spend time with the Lord. And man, I just love mornings. I am a morning person. That's why it's JoJo in the morning and not JoJo late at night. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but it is so very important. A lot of times in life, we do not value the opportunity that we have been given. A lot of times in life, we don't understand that when somebody is taking a chance on us, a lot of people would say when someone is betting on you, we don't understand the opportunity or what somebody did for us or is making a way or an opportunity for us. I remember on one of my first mission trips to Mexico, I was about 20, and the people that we were there with, they said, "Who's preaching tonight?" And our pastor said, this young preacher right here, pointed at me, and I was like, man, I've never preached. Well, there was about 20 men on the trip, and they were taking a chance on me that night. I value that opportunity. Anytime I get asked to preach at a conference, a church, a revival, there's hundreds and hundreds of people they could choose, but they chose me. I always honor that. I never take anything as a right. I honor that. There's a lot of times in life when I've had people in ministry who every time I let them do anything, they're like, thank you. They may be on our worship team and they say, thank you for this opportunity. I'm like, man, you've been doing this for like 3 years. They're like, yeah, but I never think it is a right for me to do this. I always honor that. When we have conferences or stuff, we always have people have prophetic words. And a few times people will come up and they think it's their right to give a word whenever they want. They know that we are a prophetic house and almost everybody can prophesy. But when people take a chance on you, when people bet on you, you got to understand that you have to walk in honor and loyalty, and you need to honor God for that. And just don't walk up and think, oh yeah, it's my right to do this. People are going to take a chance on you. There's been a few times in my life when I was younger and somebody said, man, I'm going to take a chance on you. I'm going to bet on you. You're not the most qualified. You don't have the most experience, but I'm about to bet on you. And I said, you just made the right bet. When I first got into ministry, my cousin, Pastor Hal Haltom, he was looking for a youth pastor. I'd never been in ministry. And I remember the Holy Spirit spoke to me, said, you're going to be the youth pastor. And I'm like, I don't want to go into ministry. And the Lord said, you're going to be the youth pastor. And I said, okay. So they interviewed a youth pastor. They interviewed a youth pastor. They interviewed people who've been to seminary. They interviewed people who had past experience. They interviewed people with college degrees from seminary. And I was a good person on the church softball team. And I went to church regularly, but never really thought about ministry. And one day he said, I just have a feeling by the Holy Spirit that you're supposed to be the youth pastor. I'm like, man, I've felt the Lord tell me that, but I've never really thought about it. I got a full-time job. So I did it part-time, ended up full-time. And I always honored the position they put me in. I was there for 7 years, even after 5 years, 6 years, I always thanked them for giving me the opportunity to serve there. If you're leading a church, you should thank the people that are there. The people should thank you for feeding them. I'm a person that I like to, we're people of gratitude. I read a quote one time. It said, if your spouse married you and all you had was potential, you need to thank your spouse for betting on you. And, it's true. I had a guy come to me the other day and we're talking, he's in our mentoring group, and he said, I got 3 people for a huge position at our business. I said, okay. One is overqualified. I said, all right. The one has all the education and background I need. I said, okay. And the third is underqualified, undereducated. But man, I just like that guy. I said, that's the one you hire. He hired him and he said, Joe, it has been beyond what we expected. He comes in every day. He's thankful for his job. He works hard. When people become entitled to a position at a job, people call me, hey, pray that I get this job at this company, this factory, and they got great pay and great benefits. And then 6 months later, well, they're not giving me this and they're not doing this. I said, hang on, time out. Did you sign an agreement to make X amount of dollars an hour? Yeah. And did you agree to the benefits? Yeah. So you should be complaining about yourself and not them. It's not them, it's you. Okay, yeah, you might not heard me. And so the message I'm trying to convey to you today is when someone takes a chance on you, make sure they made the right bet. Show them why they took that chance on you. I had a young guy, about 45. He was mad. He applied for 5 jobs. No one would hire him. And I said, hey, let me take a look at your resume. I was looking, I said, hey, you've had 5 jobs in 4 years. What was wrong? Why'd you leave your last job? Company's bad. One before that, company's bad. One before that, boss, I didn't like my boss. I said, all I'm hearing from you is if every company's bad, you have no discernment. And then I said, why would a company take a chance on you when you've quit 5 jobs in 4 years? We had a lady come to our church about 2 years ago. I'm so-and-so, and I do this, and I do this, and I'm good at this, and I'm this, and I'm like, okay, you need to let me be on your worship team and prophesy at will. I'm like, no, not at all. She's like, well, why not? I said, because she's been a part of like 7 churches in like 7 years. I'm like, you're not faithful. You just want to come in, use your gift, manipulate folks, and you don't honor the place that you're at. I have people that get monthly paychecks from me and have been getting them from me for years. They thank me every single month for their checks. They always say thank you for years ago believing in us. Okay? This is helping you. Hey, prophetic people find a sign in everything, okay? We just saw 2 big trucks go by. They're actually building right over here in our neighborhood. So this is a building video, okay? They could have went the other way to come into our neighborhood, but they didn't, okay? And so we're going to say prophetically those trucks were signs. It was a building. But I'm telling you, you should go to your boss today. Hey, thank you for marrying me. You should go up to your spouse. Hey, thank you for marrying me. You just got to understand what I'm trying to say today. It's all about when people take a chance on you, make sure they're glad they took the chance on you. I was talking to one of the guys in our mentoring as multiple businesses, and he's always hiring because all of his businesses are growing. And he just recently said, man, I hired 3 guys in one day, and they all said they wanted to work. But none of them want to work. They're always complaining about working conditions, and I pay them well. I pay them over the national average for what they do. I give them benefit. And he said, no one is thankful. Nobody wants to work. So we're praying now that good people will come into their business that are glad for the opportunity, Whenever a job opening comes up, I had a guy tell me the other day, this guy's also I'm mentoring, he said, I had a position, and I had a main position and 2 other positions, so I had 18 people apply. We set up 18 job interviews. 4 people came in. They didn't want to work. He said one of them said he really wanted to work for us. I gave him the main job. He worked a week and quit. The other 3 were like, yeah, I just don't think I want to do this. Very successful company. There's a whole lot of people that they have a fairy tale of what jobs are supposed to look like. And even younger generations, sometimes they don't understand a work ethic. And when someone gives them a job, they don't honor their job. They don't honor the people who took a chance on them, who looked at a few applications and hired you. Whenever I don't get nervous to preach at all. I mean, there's been times I've been called up on stages. I was at a conference in California and 1,500 people, and they called me up to pray and prophesy for 5 minutes on the spot. Wasn't nervous. I was at a few years ago at Dutch Sheets National Appeal to Heaven conference, and he called me up first session to pray. Wasn't nervous a bit. But when people ask me to do weddings or funerals, I get a little nervous sometimes, because they have put so much trust in me in this very special occasion to honor someone's life or to perform a wedding ceremony. I get a little nervous because I want to do such a good job, because someone trusted in me. They bet on me for that very special moment, okay? When we have the heart of gratitude, someone came up to our, I'm not a person, I don't like accolades at all. But the other day, someone came up to me and said, Apostle, I've been coming to your church for a year, and you radically changed my life. I'm like, oh, Lord, here comes an accolade. I don't like them. And the Holy Spirit said, no, you need to listen to this one. And this person went on to tell me about the things that I've been teaching. And then Holy Spirit said, you fast, you pray, you read, you study, because the people that are here at your church could go to any church in the city, but they put their faith in you, and they put their faith in you to hear from me. That's what this person's conveying to you. As you are thankful that they're in your church that I've given you, okay, it's always God's church, you should understand that they're thankful for the work and the effort and the time that you put in. Honor is a two-way street. If leaders of a ministry, owners of a company, if a minister doesn't honor his congregation, if a business owner doesn't honor his employees, that's not good. If a congregation doesn't honor their leader, it's not good. If employees don't honor the employer or the company, it's not good. Things don't go good. You start bringing in confusion and chaos. When people take a chance on you, do a great job for them. Do a great service. We got a guy at our church named Joe Shermer. He's our door greeter. He is probably one of the most happiest, friendliest people. He came up to me about 2 years ago and said, hey, when I lived in Dallas, I love serving, and we help serving and doing different things, and I would love to serve. I said, what do you like to do? He said, I love to greet people. I love to be a door greeter. And I remember he said, Apostle JoJo, you let me greet doors, you will never regret it. Some days at church, I walk out of church right before church starts just to walk in so Mr. Joe can greet me. You know what? And his wife does our kids' church, and she is the best. And I said, you know what? I knew she'd done kids' church in the past, but I just said, all right, I'm going to let you do it for a while. She is phenomenal. I love our worship leader, David Prince. When I met David, he knew 4 songs. So he would travel with me when I would preach in churches. He would do 4 songs for worship and those same 4 for altar. Then he started learning more songs. David took a chance. He said, I'm looking for a good leader. He took a chance on me. I took a chance on him. Been running together for 8, 9 years. Got another guy in our church named Jeff McFarland. I met old Jeffrey about 15, 16 years ago. And man, I just remember I said, there's something about this young guy. I'm going to take a chance on him. Started discipling him, got in his world. Phenomenal guy, still with us. Got a great job, helps out with the church, got some side businesses for book facilitation and websites designs. I mean, there are people in my life I've taken a chance on. But I talked about my cousin who took a chance on me, and he said, Joe, you weren't just rough around some edges, you were rough all over. I like to say I was organic, okay? I was organic. Man, I don't even know if I could quote 10 Bible verses. I just came in, I just loved God and loved prayer and was radical. And so he discipled me along the way, and he'll get extra crown, jewel in his crown when he gets to heaven for that. Because I was just wild, man. I just loved God, and I didn't know a bunch of stuff. But remember, he said, you know, I'm taking a big chance on you. And one day he said, that chance, that long shot, he said, Joe, if you were a horse race, you'd have been like 50-1, and you paid off good. And so a few things. Number one, when someone takes a chance on you, don't make them ever regret that chance. Second thing, take a chance on some people. Take a chance on some people and watch what happens. Love you guys. Hope you all have a super amazing day. Feel free to reach out for prayer. Go to joejoedawson.net. Go to the contact button to the place for prayer requests. And like always, I would like to say thank you to our partners. And also a lot of people ask me about our mentoring program. Right now we're doing, I do one-on-one calls once or twice a month. We have a Facebook page that I do 2 videos a weekend. They're kind of like JoJo in the morning, but they're a little bit of a step up and next level, and very affordable, very cheap, but I love mentoring people. And so pray about that. But I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your